It's also. They are misusing it against the people who are human rights activists. Same thing can happen here in Punjab also. That's why we have protested. I have written
this could be a precursor to whatever.
Yes, they have changed these two acts, identical provision. Very vast powers have been given to the police officers. Anytime anything can happen.
Right, now discussing the sedition charge against Binayak Sen and what constitutes sedition with Roshan Lal Batta, senior advocate and president PUCL Punjab and Chandigarh, R.K. Gupta, former DGP Punjab, and Dr. Manjeet Singh, sociology professor, PU Chandigarh. But before we move ahead, let us hear what human rights activists have to say.
Very unfortunate incident with regard to his conviction has happened because it is against the norms of democratic setup. Different ideology or view should not be taken to be a sedition or anything against the country. He is a very sound man politically and socially, and is a thinker. Therefore, the state was utterly wrong in prosecuting the man. Now, since the conviction has taken place as per law, it can only be challenged in a court of law which is superior to the court which has convicted. Therefore, we can't comment upon the conviction part. So far as prosecution of the man is concerned, that was a serious mistake on the part of the state.
ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਬੜਾ ਇਨੀਸ਼ੀਏਟਿਵ ਲੈਨੇ ਆ, ਕੰਡੈਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਕੱਲ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਵਿਨਾਇਕ ਸੇਨ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਨੁੱਖੀ ਅਧਿਕਾਰਾਂ ਤੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਰਾਏਪੁਰ ਦੀ ਕੋਰਟ ਨੇ ਜੱਜ ਵਰਮਾ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਉਮਰ ਕੈਦ ਦੀ ਸਜ਼ਾ ਸੁਣਾਈ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਕੱਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਮਰ ਕੈਦ ਦੀ ਸਜ਼ਾ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਮਨੁੱਖੀ ਅਧਿਕਾਰਾਂ ਤੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਲਈ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਡੂੰਘੀ ਔਰ ਚਿੰਤਾ ਦਾ ਵਿਸ਼ਾ ਹੈ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਸਟੇਟਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਨੁੱਖੀ ਅਧਿਕਾਰਾਂ ਦਾ ਜੋ ਘਾਣ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਜਥੇਬੰਦੀਆਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਇੱਕ ਧਾਰਾ 120 ਤੇ 24 ਲਾ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਸਾਜ਼ਿਸ਼ ਦੇ ਤਹਿਤ ਜੇਲ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੁੱਟਿਆ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਔਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਕੰਡੈਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ.
Dr. Manjeet Singh, we just heard these two persons. One of them was Mrs. Khalra, who is the wife of Jaswant Singh Khalra, who was allegedly picked up and killed by the police. Now, do you think with these kind of what has happened in the Chhattisgarh court, there is a real danger of such acts being committed in Punjab and J&K? Already we know that some of these things are happening, because in Punjab the DGP has been saying for some time now that there is a danger of Maoism or Naxalite movement coming to Punjab.
I think as the state is getting more and more alienated, look at the parliament, the way it's functioning. Actually, it's not functioning. Sometimes I wonder if there's any government in India is actually working.
Two laws brought by Punjab which Mr. Batta talked about.
Exactly. Any government in India is actually working. I mean, you see the performance of the parliament and the type of people elected there. I mean, we elect, but the criminal record with them. So they are free. And the people who are working, and I am coming to you, see, because more and more state is getting alienated from the people, more and more they want to rule by danda and draconian laws. I think people will revolt, and this is going to create a serious chaos in the near future. Governance is, we are losing our hold on governance, and we want to govern with the help of this danda and new acts which are coming. I think it's a time people must protest it, because this is the only space for a civil society where
Mr. Batta, recently, some kind of a charge was also slapped on Arundhati Roy because of what she said in Delhi, and also against another Hurriyat leader from
I will
Delhi.
come to this also.
Yes.
If we go to Kashmir, we find definitely I will not call, say, completely independence of India, what they call it Azadi. Very small section of the people, I will not say in Kashmir, they may be pro-Pakistan, but vast majority, if we meet honestly and independently, I've been to Kashmir few times, they talk of pure, you can say, autonomy. They don't want, they may go out of India by and large, but they do want to remain in India, but they want autonomy.
But what is the charge against Arundhati Roy?
Fair? That she has spoken in favor of, supported the demand of Azadi. What they mean by Azadi? Azadi mean that the autonomy within the state of India, that is within the country.
So you stand for a liberal interpretation of what Arundhati Roy said?
Yes. So my feeling is that she is not anti-national. There is no sedition charge at all, that she has not acted that the country may be thrown out. She has not tried to create any disorder in the country. She expressed her views. Her views are.
What would you say to the sedition charge against Arundhati Roy and also
not at all.
Syed Gilani?
Ingredient.
You see, basically it was felt, including the prosecution agency, felt that charge is not made out. Honorable Court felt no charge is made out, you register a case. The police has no alternative but to register a case. Because the Supreme Court's judgment is there that however preponderous the allegation may be, once a complaint comes, you have to, police has to register the case.
But Mr. Gupta, this does prove the fact that the definition of sedition is very loose now. So there is need to maybe take a fresh look at the definition of sedition in the IPC?
As I have already said, that it is a very loosely worded section, and this is not a solitary loosely worded section. There are many other sections which are loosely worded. The IPC as such, the law which is more than 60 years old, particularly which are prior to our constitution, needs to be re-looked into, whether they violate our spirit of the constitution. That should be looked
well, at least on this point, Mr. Gupta is in agreement with both of you. Dr. Manjeet, tell me, what kind of a definition of sedition do we need to have so that it is also in line with Article 19 of the Constitution, which is for free speech and expression?
The sedition definition, sociologically speaking, if people really think that they are really going against the grain of the state, but if state itself is going against itself, is trying to commit suicide, I know, see, it's a very different story altogether. So I'm not a legal expert that I can suggest that what definition, but certainly one thing is there, that it should not be suppressing genuine grievances of the people if they want to air in public, and it should not be for the muffling of the voices of the people, because this is a hard-earned democracy, and if a handful of people want to enjoy and let other people be out of that developmental process, I think it is not going to sustain in the long run.
Mr. Bhatta, would you agree with Dr. Manjeet?
I agree with Dr. Manjeet Singh. The definition, actually the purpose behind sedition you will have to see. What is sedition? If we see sedition, that you want to overthrow the government, established government by violent means. That is the purpose.
But I think even in the British time, I believe when the IPC was being drafted, this clause was not there. If
I am not wrong, Tilak, right in the year 1897, there was a case against him under sedition charges. That was the first case in India, that is sedition charge. That was, he was arrested, though there was no violence. He was peaceful, non-violent. They said because he has spoken against the British, to throw it by these means, he was arrested.
But Mr. Bhatta, tell me, now this clause in the IPC is before independence. Now, how come it has survived so many regime changes?
That's why the Honorable Supreme Court has made it clear in number of judgments, very latest judgments also, that after coming into operation of the Constitution, having fundamental rights, civil liberties of the people, basic rights of the people, now the violence is to be inferred, that his activities are violent, to overthrow the government, to create a disorder.
Talking of another point, isn't the punishment too harsh? It could range from 3 years to life imprisonment, as seems to have happened in case of Binayak Sen.
Yes, that is very harsh. Now one thing more which I wanted, which the press has not very clearly indicated, no paper has done it. Here the charge is also under, conviction is also under section 120B.
Yes.
120B, criminal conspiracy. For this you need common intention, meeting of minds of the concerned people, and then agreement to that extent. Now here, where is the evidence?
But Dr.
There is
Modi,
no doubt
it
in
is
that
felt
evidence.
that it is felt that some of the recent actions which have taken place, you
Yes.
know, the attack
This
in the
can't
United
be
States,
the common
26/11 in
intention.
India, there is a feeling that maybe you need such harsh laws or harsh clauses in our IPC. Even the United States has gone in for something called the Patriots Act.
Yes.
What is your take on this?
I think I don't know, I mean, with what intentions you are raising this question, but what harsher more you need if a simple letter, unsigned letter, put a person who is a doctor, who is a gold medalist, who was working in the among the ordinary tribals for 20 years from 91 onwards, and he has been given life imprisonment. I think we don't need more harsher acts. Actually, the real issue is how far we can remove these harsher acts so that people feel that it's our government, we are in independent India and it's a real democracy.
Now, Mr. Gupta, he's raised a very interesting point. He says if the state government is unfair, does not listen to the people, does not listen to the poor, what are citizens supposed to do? Now, Binayak Sen seems to be, he was working for the poor, and I think this seems to be one of the crimes that he committed, it appears.
Under the law as it prevails today, the only remedy which is available is approaching the judicial courts, High Court and Supreme Court, not courts lower than High Court. Now, they do take their own time. By that time, the issue may be dead. So,
but isn't that a very sad state of affairs? I think we need to take cognizance in the very first stage itself.
I agree with you. I agree, fully agree with you that steps which are being taken, they are not being, nobody wants to lose the power, whether it is mother-in-law, whether it is Prime Minister.
Yes, that's why all the civil rights activists and all the intelligentsia has now got together, and I think they are testing.
So everybody loves power, whether it is father, mother or mother-in-law, everybody, they don't want to.
But I'm sure you'll agree that what we need actually is power to the people and not to the people who are in power.
What Mr. Bhatta said, that there is a very small minority in Kashmir who was calling for pro-Pakistan. Majority, they want autonomy but to remain part of India. But we are talking only about the minority.
There was a census also.
We are running out of time. Mr. Bhatta, last word from you.
Yes. Now, what I entirely agree with Dr. Manjeet Singh, a person who has been working for over 25 years for the poor people, for the tribal people, for their looking after their health, for doing so much tremendous work for the rural health of the people concerned, visiting them in a Naxalite area, going there and visiting them, is it a crime? Rather, it is a great service, I think.
So this is too harsh a punishment for
such a
whatever aberration that may have taken place. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for taking part in the discussion.
Thank you.
The sedition clause, which was introduced into the Indian Penal Code by the British rulers, has survived numerous regime changes. Way back in 1962, the Supreme Court upheld this contentious clause, but with caveats which have been open to interpretations. Hopefully, the Binayak Sen case will finally decide once and for all what actually constitutes sedition. After all, a nation's integrity can't be so fragile that fiery speeches or open dissent could shatter it. True democracy is all about diversity and difference of opinion. With that, we end this edition of Day and Night Prime. Tomorrow we meet again with another issue. Till then, good luck and goodbye.